anything worth doing is worth doing badly. Just get started.
Yeah.
Hey guys, that was my good friend Frank Garay, and we're going to start this episode a little bit different. But welcome to the Loan Officer Leadership Podcast, powered by Mortgage Marketing Animals. And today, my good friend Frank Garay. What's up, brother?
Man, just excited to be up early in the morning, every morning, getting things going. And so, 7:30 a.m. out here on the West Coast, hanging out with you. It's a pretty good start to the day. In fact, I just got off the Mortgage Marketing Animals morning show, which is at 5:30 a.m. Pacific time. One thing about being involved with the Mortgage Marketing Animals is like, okay, you're getting in gear early, buddy. Let's get moving, which is good. I like it.
Well, and listen, and I love it. So all of our listeners, you're going to know Frank Garay from the National Real Estate Post. He has been literally in this industry just leading in video, leading in content, been keynote speaking in our industry. I've literally been watching you at the peripheral. We figured it out. It's almost 14 years of my 18-year career. We've become fast friends. We've got something really exciting that's brewing, launching July 7th. And so you and I are on a podcast today. Excited, man.
Yeah, dude, I'm into it, man. That's really great. Right, you're doing a fantastic job, by the way, Steve. Amazing work. Yeah, I've been watching you too and listening to your podcast recently. As I've come to know you, I was like, man, this guy's cranking, man. He's got it going on.
We're gonna do some great things together, aren't we, man? We spent a couple days together in Florida. That was fun.
Hey, we're gonna have a lot of fun trying.
Yeah. We're going to be playing our guitars, aren't we? Some of you guys don't know this, but Frank loves playing guitar. Just got a custom. You were telling me about it. You're a guitar player, man.
I've been a guitar player pretty much all my, as a kid, got struck with the rock and roll fever. The guitar thing. I was like, that's for me. You know what I mean? Started playing at like 15, 16 years old. Never got really very good at it. I was so impatient, Steve. Always the guy that goes like, I just want to play the song. I don't want to have to learn. I just want to play the song. You know what I mean? So, but I'm okay. But later in life, as I'm here later in life, I play for the church. I play on the worship team. I've been doing that for several years now. And I feel like, well, that's what it was all about. All that, all that bar playing and all that learning and whatnot it was leading up to this moment. And I feel like I've, when it comes to music and guitar anyway, I feel like I found what, if you could say it, my calling was with guitar. Definitely to be playing on the worship team at church. It's very, very fulfilling.
Hey, well, I tell you, I started playing when I was 15 and I started on a mission trip, man. I picked up an acoustic guitar. And so, man, there's nothing better than playing and worship and all. I mean, I'm so down into all that. So, oh yeah. Hey, well, listen, to our listeners, tell us a little bit about your story, man. Tell us your journey from getting into the mortgage industry, but literally having one of the probably the most recognized faces in our entire industry. It's your face, it's your voice, it's your content, it's your personality, it's your love for people and making this industry better. Tell some of the listeners who maybe are just now learning who Frank Garay is. Tell us your journey. Tell us a little bit of how you got where you are.
Yeah, and I'll keep it short. See, in the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. So no, I'll keep it short. In 1987, got into the mortgage space, right? January of 1987, and worked as a broker. I did have a brief stint with Wells Fargo Home Mortgage, for about 3 years. I found myself in the big crash, right? Back in 2007. I was running a net branch for a very large mortgage brokerage in Northern California. I was running their largest net branch. I was a really successful branch, right? I had 60 guys working for me, something like that. But it was before the crash. It was like in 06, 05, 06. Haven't been in the business for a long time at this point. I was like, something's just not right here. You know what I mean? It's just something, I don't know, because literally, loans were falling out of the sky. I mean, those are back in the days where you went and got your coffee at Starbucks and the barista said, "Oh, latte, great. Hey, did you need to do a refinance while you're here?" You know what I mean? It was just like everybody was doing loans and it was nuts. So I decided to get some coaching, and I wound up getting some Brian Buffini coaching. And the reason I did that was not for me per se, but did help me, but it was really because I wanted to be able to prepare my originators that were underneath me for what I knew was going to happen. I knew there was something. I didn't know what was going to happen. Certainly didn't know the extent, but knew something was going to change. And so I just decided I want to start coaching these guys because, so anyway, I went through my coaching and I was kind of regurgitating my coaching to them. And and again, I promise I'll keep this short, but it was so interesting, Steve, what I learned when I was trying to coach my loan officer. Remember, I had like 50, 60 guys, which is an okay number for a branch, and they were kind of spread around. So I thought I'll do sales meetings, right? Like physical, let's come to the office, let's talk, let's get coached. And you know who showed up at the sales meeting, man, was everybody people showed up, but the people that didn't need it. They're the ones that showed up, right? The ones that were already pretty successful, they were doing fine. They had purchase deals and they were just doing okay. They were the good ones. I knew these guys will stick no matter what. The ones I was concerned about, they're the ones that didn't show up, But then I thought, well, they're far away. It's a big distance to me. So a friend of mine, a coworker said, well, try a webinar. And they were brand new at the time. There was a thing called WebEx. And webinars were not very popular at the time so I did a webinar and it was a little bit better. And she's like, well, how'd that go? I go, man, it was better. There was more attendance, but I can't see them. They can't see me. I don't know if they're watching Wheel of Fortune while I'm talking to them. I don't know what's going on, She goes, oh, well, you can get a webcam. They can see you. And I thought, oh. So I get this webcam and I stick it on there. And when I put there was Logitech webcam, if you remember those, I think they still make them, and I installed it and it said, oh, you could record a video and download it or email it. I was like, really? You know what I mean? So I did a couple webinars with the webcam, still not the great attendance, but I thought that video thing, what if I just made a video and then I emailed it to them? So it was July 2nd, 2007. I made my first one, right? And I made this stupid video where my brother was working with me at the time, and I was playing a jaw harp. I can play a jaw harp too, like, but I play it good, okay? I don't play it like going, I'm like, like I got some mojo going with my jaw harp playing, right? So I was playing this jar harp and singing a song and stomping my foot. And I'm like, ain't got no loans, what'll I do? Ain't got no loans, what'll I do?
That would go viral now.
Oh, I know, yeah. And so my brother's in the background with big pieces of paper saying, get off your ass, do something, pick up the phone. Well, I'm playing this jaw harp, right? And then so I emailed it. And the response was just like, that was so great, man. Thanks so much. I needed that. But all of my loan officers responded. Like I got to them, I reached them, and they responded, So I called my business partner, Leo Schrupp at the time. And I said, hey man, I'm going to just try and do this every day. And he goes, well, you're out of your mind, but whatever, And so I just started doing it every day. My brother was working with me. He turned me on to YouTube, which was not even bought by Google at that time. They were just YouTube. And he turned me on to YouTube. And so we started just doing this little video thing I did every day. Every day I drive in thinking, what am I going to say today? And every day. And it was just for my loan officers. Time went by, 6 months went by. My brother had to go off and do something else, and I was moved out of my net branches because now the big crash has happened. Right now things are out of control and people are just dropping like flies. But the corporate broker shop called me, brought me in and said, we don't know. They said this whole thing, this video thing, they were like, just keep doing it. Just, there's something to it. And I said, well, my brother can't do it. I would rather have two people doing it than one. I just think it's better. And our boss at the time, his name is Tim Kearns. And he said, Brian, you got to talk to Brian, who was another loan officer in the branch. And I said, but I hate that guy. Right. And he goes, yeah, he doesn't like you either. He says, but you're both idiots and you're both friends with me and you guys should get together because you'd be good together. And so I never forget that. I walk over to his office and he's got clients in there. So I'm standing in his door. He can see me, right? I'm looking at the back of his client's head. And I walk his door and I just look and he goes, what's up? I go, that video thing I'm doing? He goes, yeah. I go, my brother can't do it. Tim said, maybe talk to you. You interested in doing that with me? He goes, okay. And so that was it, and then so Brian showed up the next day and we started doing this thing. That was probably December of 2007. And then in short order, long story short, and as history plays out, it just blew up. We started doing this thing every day. We kind of went from we were doing industry news and a sales tip, and eventually the sales tip kind of stopped and it was just industry news, but it just blew up. One thing led to another, and we just became this thing, in the mortgage space. And so, this July 2nd will be 14 years, that we've been doing that, and a lot of wonderful things have come because of that. It's just been it was quite an amazing experience. We caught lightning in a bottle. I mean, So, but now in my career, I'm at a point now where, is it okay to keep going here, Steve?
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, so what we were talking about is when there's a point of pain, there's also an opportunity. And that opportunity tends to be like, well, for you couldn't get to all of your loan officers that needed the coaching, and you found innovation around a point of pain. And I think that you and I were talking earlier before we jumped on this is a year of starting over. And, I think we tend to forget or miss those opportunities to innovate. When there's a rub or where there's a place of need or it seems like we're failing, I wonder if you stared at it long enough, if you could find, hey, there's something here. Talk about that.
I think you're right. A lot of sales greats always say that, problems are really opportunities in disguise. Right.
But we all think we got to throw money at it. And it's like money's the answer. And I don't think money's the answer. I think we don't stare at it long enough to innovate. Like if you look at it, like you found something that was comical, it's in your wheelhouse, it's who you are, you love. I mean, it wasn't like you were trying to be something you're not, but in being you were able to innovate to something that, yes, it was lightning in a bottle, but I think it's more than that. You pushed through. It wasn't instant success. Everybody thinks, hey, I'm going to be an instant celebrity. And it just doesn't work that way. It's every day you would drive in and get a little bit better at your videos, a little bit better at your scripting. Some days it sucked and you failed, but you kept on. And there's something about not quitting.
Dude, both of those things. So number one, being innovative when you come to a situation that's a problem. Okay. And one thing that I did learn about that too, in this scenario, obviously I just stumbled on, video, and the innovation was there to solve the problem. It's not like I really sat and thought, what can I do? You know what I mean? It just kind of came about. But subsequently to that, through my career, whenever there's been those problems that are, potential opportunities, I would say this too: don't hesitate to talk to other people about it. Like get together with other, bright people and go, I got this problem, man, and I don't know that I know the solution. Can we, try and have a little brainstorming session about it, right? Because someone else may have just the right idea or come up with something, or have seen something that might work or whatever. So don't hesitate to do that. And then to follow up on the other section that you were talking about. Yeah, consistency is the one thing I learned through this career of becoming this video dude in the mortgage space over the past 14 years, right? Is that none of it would have happened. Not one bit of it would have happened if, like you said, we didn't show up every day and just do it no matter what, right? No matter what, we showed up every day and we did a dadgum video, whether it was good, bad, didn't matter. You know what I mean? We did it, and it's to this day. It's extremely rare that, the National Real Estate Post doesn't put something out. And sometimes you may look at it and go, are you kidding me? This is popular. What in the world are you talking about? You know what I mean? You can't hit a home run every day. You can't even.
Hey guys, it's Steve, and you're listening to one of the top rated podcasts throughout America for loan officers. And I've got to tell you, I absolutely appreciate all of those 5-star reviews that you guys are giving. As a matter of fact, we just got another one from Brent Rimpey. And I've got to tell you, what a great comment. Here's what he said. As an executive of a financial institution who recently took on leadership of the mortgage team, I find Loan Officer Leadership Podcast to be thought-provoking for both me and our mortgage loan officers. Great ideas, great questions. This podcast will help folks in the industry think bigger. Brent, thank you for that 5-star review. Man, it means the world to me. If you that are listening feel like this has impacted you, it's made a difference, would you consider going to wherever you consume the podcast, give us a 5-star review, share it with a friend. And as a matter of fact, if you do that, and you'll take a picture of your review that you have posted. Send it to support@loanofficerleadership.com. Send it to support@loanofficerleadership.com. We'll send you one of our Mortgage Marketing Animals coffee tumblers. And so we'd love to put that in your hand for giving us a 5-star review. But more importantly, thank you for being a part of our community. Thank you for helping us be better and continue to make a difference. So with that, see ya.
Even hit a base hit every day. You know what I mean? But you got to swing every day.
Dude, hey, listen, that is so powerful. Well, you know what? Hey, tell me about, I think that's what people have to hear, because you look at the Instagram and you're like, you got 10,000 followers and you're doing this and it's the overnight success, but they don't know how long that night was. And it goes back to what you and I were in Florida a couple weeks ago, and you were talking about you would literally edit videos overnight or into the morning to get them out to hit the show. Like, I don't think anybody hears or sees that pain. Tell people what you would do, like in the glory days. Because
in the beginning, I did everything. Me and Brian,
you were editing videos.
Dude, I was a video editor. I was learning video editing. Like, I was doing, first it was this, Microsoft had a video editor. I forgot what it was called. It was dreadful. And I would break it. I mean, I was wringing its neck trying to be creative, because I did find that, and I think if we do want to just touch on video a little bit, I know today it's very simple to whip out a video. It's very easy to go live and get a video out. And I know you do not need to have fancy editing, and it's all true. Okay. But if you can have some editing, if you can make your video visually stimulating in some way, shape, or form, it's helpful, because video is an eye thing, right? It's eye and ear, but it's primarily eye, right? So anyway, I was wringing the neck of the stupid Microsoft thing, crashing servers. It was brutal. But to answer your question, yeah, we would come in and record, and then it was my job to edit it to get it ready to go. And that editing process, with back then, bandwidth was slower, files were bigger, it was just literally a 4-minute show would take me like 8 hours to get it to the point where it was presentable and pushable. And that a lot of that had to do with the technology at the time. It wasn't as good as it is today. You know what I mean? So yeah, it was a lot of work. Dude, we did that for 2 years, man. Like,
well, but nobody hears that though. Nobody hears that though, Frank. Everybody thinks, hey, I'm just going to pop on a couch and shoot a video, and I'm going to get all of these leads and loans and agents and people. You will like me. Bro, they don't hear the digging in the trenches, man.
It's all consistency. It's just when you're going to do something like this, and this applies to anything in our business. Dude, we could talk about calling past clients on Wednesdays. We could talk about calling our pre-approved and lookings on Thursdays. We could talk about calling real estate agents on Mondays. We could talk about, all of these things. And no matter what it is that we're doing, if it is the relentless consistency that is guaranteed to give you a guaranteed great result, but it's your relentless consistency. If this week, well, I didn't do any calls this week, you blew it. I mean, you just blew it. I mean, now you got to catch up. Now you got to go a little harder. So it's just being consistent every day, no matter what it is you're doing in your activities. You have to have your consistency. Consistencies are everything, man. Everything. In my opinion, nothing works without it. And everything works with it. So it doesn't matter what you want to do. You want to be a podcaster like Steve. Well, I've watched you. You're very consistent. If I go back, in fact, I went way back on you, and I saw when you started and you had a little run, then you kind of fell off.
I had kids.
And you had a little bit of run.
I had more kids.
Right. Yeah. You know what I mean? But then for the past long while now, well over a year now, I don't know how long it is, maybe 2 years, perfect consistency, right? Like bang, 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 bang. You're just getting it done. And now it's paying off, obviously, right? So, I mean, I don't care what it is you're doing. And like I was going to say, anything, if you apply the consistency to anything, it will work. Yeah. To anything.
Man, I love that. Hey, we'll talk about this. I don't know if people know this, but you're now joined forces with the Marketing Animals.
Yeah. So interestingly enough, well, for full disclosure, just to make sure everybody's aware, me and Brian, awesome brothers for life, right? This is a true story. And this happened in Michigan many years ago. And there was drinking involved. I've been sober for 5 years, so it's not me anymore. All right. There was some drinking. There was a tattoo parlor. Okay. I have a half a broken heart with Brian's name on it tattooed on my left butt cheek. Okay. And Brian has the other half of the broken heart with Frank written on it on his butt cheek. So if you stuck our butts together, okay, there's a heart that says Frank and Brian. Okay. So true story. Okay. Not proud of it. Okay. My wife certainly didn't think it was a very good idea. Okay. And neither did his wife, but Brian and I are blood brothers for life, right? We're all good. Everything is fine. Some things have recently transpired in my life that have brought me to a point where I have to make some changes. The spearhead of this is my mother. Okay. So my mother, 45-year real estate broker in my town. Okay. Been around forever. Now look, I'm going on 60. My mom's been doing it for 45 years. I mean, do the math on how old my mom is right now. Okay. So I'll just lay it out there. She's like 80. Okay. So I got this 80-year-old mother broker, selling real estate, Steve. She just can't, because she's been doing it so long. The people just keep calling, now it's church or past clients, but it's their kids, their grandkids, right? Their friends, she's just got listings. She just takes these listings. She's got the point where she just needs the help, right? Now I'm licensed. I've had my license hung under my mother for a couple of years. I was never trying to do any real, me and my wife have our licenses hung under my mother just so that we could help her here and there, sit an open house or something, or, answer a question or something. We're not trying to set the world on fire or anything like that. But the point has come where we need to step in and really help her. We really need to help her out. And so now me being Frank Gray, being the neurotic, guy who's been doing this for so long, when I step in now and I look at this, I go, well, clearly I need to build a new real estate company. Right. So, that's what's going on now. So with that in mind, and the National Real Estate Post and Brian, I basically told Brian, I said, listen, I've really got to spend some time with my mother. And, I need to kind of try and fade away from the National Real Estate, not immediately. And I'll always be there. Probably in the next 5 years, you'll still see me on the National Real Estate Post 2 or 3 times a week. You know what I mean? I'm always there to help. I'm never going to just, I would never leave my brother hanging like that. You know what I mean? And so, but most of a lot of the time that I would spend in doing the things that happened at the National Real Estate Post, which is a lot of other things besides the show. It's a very busy business, that has a lot of moving parts and a lot of partners and vendors. And so my time suck though is, Brian, I just need to free up some time. So I've done that to help Annie, but now through helping Annie, I'm like, well, I still do have some bandwidth here, but maybe I'd point it in a different direction, because all the things that we've learned over the years, all the, stuff that we've taught and all the things that we've done. And as I'm working on this real estate company, it's like, I could certainly still help out on the mortgage side of things too. And I still want to be involved with, I still believe in the coaching and, and helping. And so I called Carl, Carl White. I said, Carl, you got to fit for me over there. You know what I mean? Something where I can fit in, understand I got to spend some time with mom. I'm spending less time with National Real Estate Post and that, spending more time with mom, but I still have some room, some time that I could spend helping others and, doing things and, being part of the mortgage side on the ground level, being on the street level again, because now I'm on the street level on the real estate side, sorta, but, I felt like, and Carl, Carl, it's like, brother, no problem, brother. I got just the thing, got just the thing, brother. Okay, let's talk. So, within 5 minutes, me and Carl struck a deal, I guess you would call it. Not really a deal, but Carl was like, come on, man, we can do this and it won't take much time. And you know what I mean? You can be a big help. And, and so here we are, and I met with you and Carl in Florida. We're like, this is going to be awesome. And it still and everything works, right? The time to take care of everything works perfect. And dude, I can't tell you how excited I am to be a part of the Marketing Animals, and just blown away at really how incredible, the Freedom Club is, and just everything that's going on over there at Marketing Animals is just mind blowing. I mean, I don't think a lot of people really do realize. The people that are in it know, but I think he still does. I think Marketing Animals is still, to a certain extent, kind of a secret little treasure that, those who find it go, oh my God, where have I been? Like, this is incredible. And the results are there. I mean, the people I've met that are part of the, I'm like, how many million did you make last year? And 4 days a week? What? Like, wait a second, you haven't taken a loan app in 2.5 years, and you did, 200 million last year. I mean, what? And I just don't think people realize, how incredibly powerful the Freedom Club is and Marketing Animals. So it's really, really neat to be able to step in and become part of it.
Well, we're excited to have you, man. I tell you, you're such a voice in the industry. And I laugh with Carl all the time. I tell him, I say, hey, bro, you are a ninja. Nobody has any idea what is behind this engine that you have built. And you get in and you're like, wow, we're helping thousands of loan officers literally change their lives. So we believe in close more loans with less time, 32 hours a week, help you build teams, help you build structure so that you stay wildly profitable. And together we'll create a ripple effect that changes the world. And so, hey, before we get off, let me ask you this. You said something that really, I want you to speak about, because you've had a huge line of sight in both real estate and mortgage. You said you believe this year is about starting over. To the loan officer who didn't go through the '07 crash, hasn't felt the pain and the challenges at a high level here, what do you mean by starting over? What would you encourage a loan officer? What do they need to be looking at? What do they need to be doing?
Here's the deal. And this is the truth. It may not apply to you, right? Whoever's listening or watching, right? It may not apply to you. Okay. But I know there's a lot of originators out there who, when refi booms come, right, it's very hard not to get completely swept away by it, if that makes sense. Okay. Because it's so, I'm just going to say it, it's so easy. I mean, and of course we have our challenges. This guy said he can get a better rate here, better rate. You got your challenges in your refi market, right? Turn times, all that kind of stuff. But as far as originating a loan is concerned, I'll just say it. I think the mortgage industry has been on the biggest gravy train that it's ever been on for the past decade. It just won't stop. You know what I mean? Every time we feel like, oh, the rates are going to go, they're back down again. And we're back on Easy Street, and the rates are going to go, they're back down again. And we're back on Easy Street, And so I think a lot of really good originators out there, these are great originators. And I'm not saying that, you've done anything. I don't want this to be disparaging or condescending. It's not. It's just, I think a lot of us who are in the trenches originating at a high level right now, if you're at like a 70-30 purchase to refi ratio or 70s refi, that's a warning. I mean, you're in trouble. I just think I think we have to start again. I think that if we really want to stay successful and even get better, right, and do better, I think we have to be able to throw all of our ego out the door. We have to throw all of our thoughts and our concepts out the door. We have to just be willing to say, yeah, I've been doing this for 15 years. Yeah, I'm really successful, but gosh darn it, I need to start all over again. And I need to rebuild and do it the right way. And I think there's going to be a rebuilding that goes on. I mean, I don't know when it's going to happen, Steve, because every time I say I think the rates are going to go up, they just fall right back down again. And you know what I mean? But I don't think that even matters. I think that deep inside, as an originator, especially an experienced originator who's been doing this for a while, 10 years, 7, 8, 10 years, I think we know deep down inside we need to make some changes, and we need to start now, and we need to start again. And in order to do that, you have to be willing to put the ego aside. Yeah, I know you're wildly successful in your company. Great. Okay. Have to be able to put that aside and just be able to say, maybe I don't know anything at all. Maybe I don't. Maybe I should look into this and see what's really going on here so I can really start again. Because I tell you what, in my short experience now tapping into the mortgage marketing animals over the past few weeks and just being on the morning call with those guys, I don't know it all. I thought I knew a lot. I know a little.
Well,
You know what I
hey,
mean?
and it reminds
There's a lot more to learn.
Yeah, but you know what? I think that it goes back to mindset, and our encouragement to our listeners is really you can be hungry or complacent, and this isn't a season to be complacent, because if you do, I think you're going to find it's going to be a tougher role at the end of the year, running into next year. And so, man, I'm with you. I think it's the mindset of what do I need to do to get back to the basics? What got me to where I'm at, and am I doing it? Am I still doing the daily disciplines that yielded the results I'm currently eating right now, or the fruit that I'm eating? Because I do think the refis were not only a distraction, it wasn't, and it's no condemnation. It's not like, it's no judgment. But the truth is, everybody got so busy, you were neglecting some of the basics, and now it's time to reframe and reset. And Frank, I love that too, man. When you talked about, I think about the National Real Estate Post, I think about the call you made to Carl, I think about the relationship you and I are building. It's not just that you're around people, it's around the right people. And our commitment to our listeners is to build a community that's a safe place where we just get better together. And, it was funny. I was on the phone with Jen Conley yesterday. She's was on the podcast, and I'm coaching some of her team. And, it was interesting, Frank, because she was telling me about how she's got over 30% market share in her market. And, I was just in that 45-minute conversation, I'm sitting there saying, oh my gosh, I've neglected my agents. Oh my gosh, I've neglected relationships. And I wouldn't even have thought that had we not spent 30 minutes together. And it's that iron sharpens iron, and that's where we've got to get back to. So I love it. Hey, let me ask you this. Any closing thoughts for the podcast?
Jen Conley, oh my God, I've known her for years, and to see her success. And Jen, she's all about the 4 days a week, and she hasn't taken a loan app in I don't know how long. You know what I mean? And she's like, when you talked about, hey, I've neglected to talk to my agents, neglected this. That's all Jen does. That's all she does. And, 30% of her county, 30% market share in her county, her alone. Unbelievable. And my parting thoughts would be, you know what, man, just let's start really thinking about starting over. If you're in that spot, let's start thinking about, hey, maybe I don't know everything. Maybe I should start to learn something, and really, I think getting out of 2021 and going into 2022 could be the best years of your career ever. If you're willing to put it all aside, just put it all aside and dive in and see what's going on. That's my thing. I'm excited for those who do it, because I know they're going to be.
Well, guys, hey, stay tuned. Love Frank. Love our friendship that's being built. Man, the marketing animals, what we're building there. And for everybody listening, remember this: anything worth doing is worth doing badly. Just get started. See ya. Hey there, it's Steve Kiles, and I wanted to say thank you for listening to the Loan Officer Leadership Podcast. Every week on this podcast, it's my passion that we're providing strategies that are actually working in our industry and in this business. And so I've got a ton of people asking questions lately and asking, how can we help you implement these marketing strategies, these business processes, these items that are helping us explode our business into your business? And so, man, I'd love to get you connected with our team. Visit freedomplanningcall.com. Visit freedomplanningcall.com, and we'd be happy to share with you exactly how you can implement these marketing activities and processes in your business. Hey, listen, there's no charge for the call whatsoever. Go to freedomplanningcall.com and look forward to talking to you when you call in. So check it out. And with that, guys, see ya.